There is a move on the table. It has been sitting there for weeks. It has a name rooted in federal law enforcement history, and a former FBI special agent, named on the record in a national publication, said publicly that it should already be in motion in the case surrounding the person who has been contacting TMZ with ransom demands since Nancy Guthrie went missing. What separates this from every other angle in this investigation is the threshold it requires. It does not need investigators to locate Nancy first. It does not need a confession, a body, a witness, a tip, or anyone slipping up. It needs exactly one thing from the person sitting on the other side of those emails. When the payment they have been demanding finally arrives in that wallet, they take it. Because the moment that Bitcoin moves, a permanent, publicly visible, yet federally trackable trail opens. A trail that a former federal agent says leads in direct sequence to an identification, an arrest, and a federal prosecution. We are going to walk through every layer of that. The sender, the demands, the pattern of contacts, the mechanics of what the blockchain actually reveals, the federal exposure already created, and in the final portion of this video, the name of the tactic, because it has a specific name, one that comes from documented federal law enforcement practice. And the moment you hear it, everything we have been building locks into place. Everything you are about to hear is grounded in confirmed, publicly sourced information and named expert statements. Where something is expert opinion, we will say so. Where something is analytical inference, we will label it clearly. And we do not present guesses as facts here. That discipline holds throughout. The public record on this starts with Harvey Levin, the founder of TMZ. Not a staffer, not a spokesperson, Harvey Levin himself, publicly on record, confirmed what has been unfolding behind the scenes of this investigation since early February. Someone has been contacting TMZ about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance since the first weeks after she went missing. Not once, not twice. 6 or more separate contacts from the same source, carrying the same demand, sent repeatedly while searches were active, and both the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI were engaged in a live, active investigation. The demand, half a Bitcoin deposited into a specific wallet address in exchange for implied information about Nancy's location. TMZ's response? Nothing. The wallet associated with those contacts has never received a single transaction. It is empty. It was empty the day the first message arrived, and it is empty right now. Hold those facts against the context they belong in. Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old. She is Savannah Guthrie's mother, co-host of NBC's Today Show. She was reported missing on February 1st, 2026, from Tucson, Arizona. The case pulled national media coverage within days. The FBI joined the investigation alongside the Pima County Sheriff's Department under Sheriff Chris Nanos. Both agencies active, both working it. And across the entire span of that investigation, while searches were being conducted and evidence was being processed, someone kept coming back to TMZ, 6 times at minimum. Same demand, same wallet, same pattern repeated without a single response from the other side. That is not an impulsive act. That is sustained, deliberate behavior from someone who keeps choosing to make contact and keeps expecting something to eventually change. That pattern is what makes this thread investigatively significant. And that pattern is precisely what a former FBI special agent says creates an opportunity that is currently sitting unused. Jennifer Coffindaffer is not a peripheral voice on this case. She is a former special agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, publicly active in the analysis of this investigation across multiple media platforms. And she went on the record with Newsweek with 2 statements that need to be understood together. First, she said she does not believe the ransom note sender necessarily has real information about where Nancy is. Let that settle. A former federal agent with a career built on evaluating exactly these kinds of situations looked at what is confirmed about these contacts and concluded this person probably does not know where Nancy Guthrie is. And then in the very same breath, she said we should still identify who they are. Right now. That combination is the entire framework. The recommendation is not contingent on whether the sender has actionable information. It exists on different ground. Whatever this person knows or does not know, the act of sending those emails has already created a specific and serious federal legal exposure. And federal law enforcement has tools designed to turn that exposure into an identity. Here is the mechanism. Nani Bitcoin is described in popular culture as anonymous currency. That reputation does not survive contact with how modern federal cryptocurrency forensics actually functions. Bitcoin operates on a blockchain, a decentralized, permanent, publicly observable ledger that records every transaction ever executed on the network, every movement, every timestamp, every wallet address. If you know the wallet address the sender used, which TMZ does because the sender provided it, you can monitor every transaction on that wallet in real time without any special access. It is sitting on a public ledger that anyone equipped to look can see. The anonymity Bitcoin actually offers exists only at the point of wallet creation. Setting up a wallet requires no name, no government ID, no identity verification of any kind. But the moment funds inside that wallet move toward any system that requires identity, and any regulated exchange does require identity, the protection collapses. Coffindaffer stated it directly and precisely in 11 words to Newsweek. Do they take it? Do they convert it to pesos? It is internationally tracked. Any conversion from Bitcoin into spendable currency, regardless of which country it happens in, passes through a regulated exchange with Know Your Customer requirements. Those records exist. They are accessible to law enforcement through lawful process. Federal agencies, including the FBI, the DEA, and the IRS Criminal Investigation Division, maintain documented working relationships with blockchain analytics firms capable of tracking fund movements across hundreds of thousands of wallets simultaneously and following funds through dozens of intermediate hops without losing the chain. This is not emerging technology. It has produced convictions. It has a documented record, and the sender has already done more than they may understand. Under 18 U.S.C. 875, transmitting interstate communications that demand money while connected to a person's welfare is a federal crime. Email qualifies. Cryptocurrency qualifies. 6 or more contacts across weeks of an active federal investigation is not an isolated incident. It is a sustained course of conduct. The statute does not require the sender to have had any actual ability to deliver on what they were implying. The criminal exposure was complete the moment the first message was transmitted. It has been compounded repeatedly since then. A conviction under these statutes carries the possibility of years in federal prison. The prosecutorial interest in pursuing someone who ran an extortion campaign against a high-profile federal missing persons case, the mother of a nationally recognized journalist, would be serious and real. The tactic Jennifer Coffindaffer named is called Tickle the Wire. It comes from wiretap operations. The scenario: investigators have a monitored communication channel, but the subject has gone quiet, stopped using it, and waiting indefinitely is not a strategy. So investigators introduce a deliberate, more calculated stimulus on that line, something designed to give the subject a reason to act. And when they act, in doing what they naturally do when the monitored channel changes, they expose themselves. You make something happen on the wire. You watch what comes next. In this case, the wire is the blockchain. The channel under watch is the wallet address the sender gave to TMZ. The tickle is the deposit. Put the money in. Give them exactly what they have been demanding across 6 separate contacts. Then watch the blockchain, because every movement that follows is permanent, publicly recorded, and traceable through federal forensic infrastructure directly to a name. The wallet is still empty. A named, credentialed former FBI agent publicly named the tactic, explained the mechanics in plain language, and explained clearly why the outcome carries investigative value regardless of what the sender knows about Nancy's location. And the wallet is still empty. We do not have visibility into what decisions have been made inside the FBI regarding this approach. Those deliberations are not public. What we can say, grounded entirely in confirmed on-record statements, is that the gap between a former federal agent publicly naming a specific tested tactic and a Bitcoin wallet that has never received a single transaction is a legitimate subject for public scrutiny. Not accusation, not conspiracy, scrutiny. Is every available tool being used in this investigation? Is the ransom note thread being treated with the same urgency as every other active thread? The sender has not gone away. They keep coming back. Tickle the wire. When the name is on the record, the mechanism is documented, the wallet is waiting.